Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about the top 10 questions you need answers to. I did the top questions that people asked me, but this one is about top 10 questions you need answers to. And they're going to start with kind of first question you should ask, but the number one question you need an answer to, I'm going to tell you last. So number 10, what's the 10th question? And the 10th question is, do you have different utility rates? What is that? Well, let me tell you, I live in a deregulated area, so utility rates go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I can pick a fixed rate, I can pick a green rate, I can fix two different rates, I can switch between rates. Can you do that where you live? If you live in Alberta, you can do this. This is very important. You're going to get the solar panels installed. What are you going to pay? What are you going to pay for electricity when they're not producing? And every night they don't produce. 2, what are you going to get paid? Can I get more in the summer, less in the winter? I mean, how does it work? Are there different times of days that you get paid? San Diego, for instance, peak hours, 53 cents a kilowatt hour. Wow. I don't know what other charges there are on top of that, probably billing fee and taxes. But I'll just got to tell you, if it was 53 cents a kilowatt hour where I live, every house would have solar because we're the sunniest city in Canada. So, do you have variable rates? So this is what you got to find out. Easy. Call your energy provider, NMAX, if you live in Alberta, and find out if you can flip back and forth. There's a website. It's really easy. Number 9. Ding! Is there financing on your solar panels? Not you're buying a house and there's solar panels on it. Is there financing on it? Because, well, you'd want to know that. But can you finance? And what's the rate? For instance, my solar panels, I financed 50% of it at 1.99%. Total cost of it's just, I don't even want to get $600 to finance 50% of my install over 15 years. It was just ridiculous. Like, it's nothing. I just looked at it and went, really? But the only reason why are you financing? I financed half of my install because 1, cost of the install, 2, the rate was really low, 3, I got a 15-year guaranteed warranty because I financed it for 15 years. Well, okay, well that's worth doing. 2, if you finance it, really, really important, can you transfer it? I.e., you put the solar panels on your house today, and 10 years from now, something happens, whatever, you get a big promotion, you win the lottery, I don't care what it is, you want to sell your house. Can you transfer it? Can the person that buys your house, it's got 5 years left, there's no electricity bill or whatever it is, you'll have the stats, can someone take it over? My payment's $49 a month. $49 a month. Unbelievable. But is it transferable? Mine is not transferable. Nope, nope, nope. They said no. Number 8. Can you add solar panels? So let's say they come and take a look at your system. They say you're going to get this many solar panels, blah, blah, blah. This is your kilowatt hours. Mine's a 5 kilowatt hour system. No, it's not. It's a 6 kilowatt hour system. Keep forgetting that. I say 5, but it's really a 6 kilowatt hour system. 6 kilowatt hour system, that means it produces 6 kilowatt hours in 1 hour, times however many hours a day, blah, blah, blah. There you go. So, can you add panels? So let's say your house is, you're using this much, but then you have a couple of kids. You buy an electric car. You need more power. Can you add panels to it? Really important. You may never, ever do this. Okay, because the most important question is coming up, and this question kind of comes into that. But this is like number 8. Number 7. Who do you call to find out what solar costs? Well, that's easy. You call Greenlight Power. If you live in Calgary, you call Greenlight Power. Greenlightpower.ca. Okay? Give them a call. Their phone number will be in the comments, so if you want to give them a call, and their webpage. If you want to contact them, they will give you a free quote. They use Google Maps, everything like that. They look at your roof lines. They drive by. They don't even have to come into your house. They look at the trees. They look at everything. They figure out how much space you have. Then you send them your electricity bill. And then they contact Enmax. They find out how much electricity you've used in the last year. Blah, 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 blee, dee, 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 doot, 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 doot. And after that, they give you a quote. And how your panels will be set up. And the type of panels that's going to be used. All that kind of stuff. And that reads into number 6. Number 6 already? If you want to remember the number 6, and then what do you use? A dice. It's a memory trick question. Anyways. What type of panels do you get? Number 6. I really wanted to know this one. Because everyone's going to, how efficient are they? Which ones do I get? Do I get the LG ones? Do I get the Sun Power ones? Do I get the Canadian Solar ones? Do I get the whatever, the Frankenfurkensel and the printers and the German ones and the Korean ones and the China ones and the, they're all made everywhere, all over the place. Which one do I get? And do you have a choice? Because where I live, you do not have a choice. You get the panels that will work for your roof and the space you have. And how much solar you need in a year to power your house based on the hours of sunlight we get. Very complicated formula, but it's pretty easy. They tell you exactly what you need, and off you go. And then you got number 5. Number 5 is, can you remove them? So once they put them up on your roof and everything like that, what if you need your shingles done? Now, I did my shingles the year before I ordered solar. I planned it that way because I knew the prices of solar were coming down. They're still coming down, but they're finally at the point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I did my shingles the year before. I put a 30-year shingle on, and now I have my solar panels up. And the solar panels are on the side of the house, and we'll guarantee those shingles will get 30 years, no problem. But what if something happens for whatever reason, and I need to roof my house? Well, I got solar panels up there. Average roofing company probably wouldn't know how to take them down and put them back up. You certainly wouldn't want them to get wrecked. In my contract for the solar install, I get 2 removals. That's right. They'll come and take the solar panels off. Roofers come and do the roof, and they come back and put the solar panels back on. Costs me nothing the first time, $800 the second time. I think that's pretty fair considering they should last 30 years. Then number 4 is one of the most misunderstood questions about solar I've seen everywhere. And anyone that will tell you don't get solar will quote this. Solar panels only last 10 years. So don't do it. It'd take 10 years to pay it back. Why would you do it? Well, let me tell you. How long do your solar panels last? Now, all solar panels have a guarantee. Most are 25 to 30 years. But I know a guy, because I grew up on a farm south of Calgary, who put solar in 1985. Put a whole bank of solar panels in. Really green guy, farmer guy, wanted to run his dairy barn off of these solar panels because of, whatever reason. I thought it was fantastic. This is cool, da-da-da-da-da. Well, guess what? Those solar panels are still there. I was out there a week ago looking at an acreage, showing it to somebody. And after they left, I just kind of made a quick little jaunt to where they are, and they're still there, and they're the same panels. The person that put them in doesn't live there anymore. The son took it over, and it's still a dairy operation, and those solar panels are still generating electricity. Okay? They don't generate as much because they're 35 years old, but they're still generating. How do I know? I dropped in, knocked on the door, found out, and guess what? So solar panels last 30 to 40 years. So since they last that long, what's the guarantee? 25-year guarantee. Okay, well, that company could go out of business in 25 years, so there goes your guarantee. But for the most part, you're going to get 25 to 40 years out of your solar panels. So to say someone to tell you 10, 15, they're just lying to you. You know, warranties only last so long, but the panels are going to keep working. Maybe you'll get one that'll stop. The other thing is on how long they last. Okay, this is number 4. Inverters. Can I just replace a panel? Can I just replace inverter? The box it goes to that sends it to my panel. The reversing meter, does that ever need to be replaced? The breakers in my box, does that ever need to be replaced? What happens if I upgrade the electrical in my house because I'm in an older house and I want a new panel because I want to run a welder line out to the garage and I want to build a triple garage and I want to redevelop the basement and I want to add 4 kitchens? I'm going to need a new panel. It's already running into the panel. What do I need to do? Do I need to call somebody? Can a normal electrician take care of the problem? Do I call the installer back? What happens? Now, you may not have worry about those questions, but I think it's pretty important. You got to have the flexibility that if you are going to do something after they're installed, there could be a cost to doing what you're doing over and above what you would normally have. Now, most electricians will be able to handle this because a friend of mine's an electrician, and after it was installed, he came over and he goes, yeah, it's irrelevant. I said, okay, irrelevant? I like irrelevant. Number 3, can you track your solar usage once it's installed? Or do I have to go outside to a screen? Is there something in the basement? Well, it's 2020, people. Of course, there's an app, and it doesn't matter who you get to install your solar, where it comes from, how it's in, what your utility company is. They have an app for it. The app, I look at mine all the time, especially when it's sunny. What's it producing? We're in October. Coming into November and December, my solar panels are not going to produce very much in December, January, and February. We don't even get 8 hours of sunlight where I live a day. Not on counting direct sunlight. So, can I track it? Can I see what it's doing? Will I know if a panel's gone out? Does the utility company track it? You gotta remember, everyone asks, well, is there an app for me to see how my solar is doing? Everyone has that app. But does the utility company track your solar? So if one goes out, they know it's gone out. Or is it up to you to see if one of your solar panels have quit working? It'll happen. It's a manufactured product. Things are going to break. Okay? So how do you track it? Do they track it? If something goes wrong, who do you call? I have a little cheat sheet on a card. Okay? I have a little card, has the name of the company, name, phone number, email address, and max phone number, email address, who to contact. If anything went wrong, who do I call? If it stopped working, who do I call? Very easy to see if it stopped working. All I gotta do is look at my reversing meter when it's sunny out. And if it's not increasing on the reversing side, then I know something's not working. Click the app. If the panels aren't working, it shows you each individual panel, what each individual panel, oh, it's just great. So number 3, how do I track the system? What kind of app is it? Does it cost anything? The answer should be no. Okay? Number 2 question. The second most important question. Cost of the system. Total cost of your system. It should be coming out around $2.50 a watt. So if you need 6,000 watts like I have, $2.50 a watt. Okay, not a kilowatt hour, that's 1,000 watts in 1 hour, i.e. 10 100 watt light bulbs running for an hour. Okay, that's how much kilowatt hour is. So, how much per watt? And you really want to be around that $2.50. I am not going to talk about government rebates because I believe it's 2020. There are none required. If our federal government wants more solar to be done, or provincial government wants more solar to be done, they can make the investment in the utility and or the company that actually makes the panels and have them made here in Canada, and then the panels would cost less because they put the capital in to make the factory, so the factory can make them for less money, and then that's it. So one-time capital expenditure. I don't want rebate. I mean, they spill money out there like crazy, and most people, we had a solar thing in Alberta, it got gobbled up in under 24 hours. I was on vacation. I didn't even get a chance to apply, and I was planning on putting solar in. I did not put solar in because I was getting a rebate. In fact, I challenge every person out there that does a solar video or anything like that, they all talk rebates. Rebates. Government rebates, government this, government that. No. This is 2020. It should be viable. If it's not viable where you live, don't do it. Period. Unless the government's going to give you the money to put the whole system in, it's not worth putting in. Because the rebates are saying it's not worth putting in. I paid approximately $2.60 a watt to put my system in. And at that price, 8.4 years payback. And that's what you got to figure out in the cost of your system. How much are you paying? You paying $15,000 for your system, all cash up front? When are you going to get your $15,000 back? Right? So you do that and your electricity bill goes to zero. And what I mean by the billing fee will still stay there. I mean the electricity part. When we get our bills, it has electrical. I use NMAX. Electrical is one section. Heating's another section. Water's another section. Recycling and garbage is another section. If I use zero electricity, zero natural gas, and zero water, my bill's $97. That's just what it is in Calgary. You're going to pay $97 if you live in a house and you use nothing. That's just what it is. Nothing you can do about it. I've lobbied council. Nothing changes. I'm the only one there. So that $97 will be there every month. There's nothing I can do about it. And quite frankly, that's just the way it is. But the electrical part, so I look at the electrical bill, my usage, my kilowatt per hours, transmission charge, balancing pool, There's like 8 or 9 charges on there. Well, if I produce enough electricity, all those charges go to zero. And now you know your payback. So take a look at your bill. On a year, what are you actually paying? Back to one of my other questions. What's your kilowatt per hour, and can you do something different? Remember, the most important question is coming up, and this is number 1. Net metering. Huh? What's that? Or zero net metering, or zero metering. So you get a hold of your utility provider. Are you regulated or unregulated? It doesn't matter where you are, where you live. There's lots of companies out there now trying to collect money to answer these questions for you. Quite frankly, you can do them yourself. You don't need to, if they're going to charge you for it, I wouldn't use them. But the number 1 question, number 1, is zero metering. Why in the world is zero metering? So this is what zero metering or net metering means. My system creates electricity, sends it out to the grid. I use what I want, sends it out to the grid. If I'm not producing enough, it comes back to me. So I buy it from the grid, I sell it to the grid. I buy it from the grid, I sell it to the grid. That's how you got to do that. So, zero metering. If you do not have zero metering where you live, do not install solar. Period. It's not worth it. You will never, ever, ever make your money back. Are you doing it? I want to be green. I want to say, I don't want to use, maybe use coal where you live or whatever. Whatever they use to make electricity. But I'm telling you, if you do not have zero metering, net metering, do not install solar where you live. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. You'll never make your money back, and you'll be very, very disappointed. And what zero metering means, for the most part, when I buy electricity from the grid, I pay 10 cents a kilowatt hour. When I sell electricity to the grid, I get 10 cents a kilowatt hour, i.e. net metering or zero metering. The system on my house is only allowed to be within a couple percentage points. The size to produce enough electricity that I would use in 1 calendar year. So, net metering. My system goes on in 365 days. I use 12,000 kilowatt hours and my system will produce 12,000 kilowatt hours, i.e. zero metering. I'm not allowed to produce more. I'm not allowed to put 20 panels more than I need. I'm only allowed to put on what I use in a year. And they have the records. Your utility provider has it. This is a regulation that was brought into where I live. And if you don't have it where you live, you better start lobbying the government to get zero net metering. And no extra charges for this zero net metering. You have your billing charge, which is fine, but nothing extra. They want to put extra riders on and transmission this and transmission that. Oh, they're the utility company. If they can try and scam another $50 a month out of you for no particular reason, they'll do it. Like, it's just crazy. So anyways, make sure you have this regulation in place. If you don't have this, one of the reasons solar is not taking off. Solar will not solve energy problems, but that's not what this video is about. This is about producing what you use on a system that will most likely last 40 years. I will not be on this planet anymore when these panels need to be taken down. The meter isn't going to need to be replaced in that 40 years because the meter they took out, that they took out of my house and put the reversing meter in, was put there in 1958. Has not been changed out since 1958 and works just perfectly fine. This new one will work perfectly fine. Now it's digital, you know how it is. Digital stuff doesn't last as long. But there's your top questions. And as a bonus question, I was thinking about this, and let me take a look at my notes here. Just hang on a second, let me look down. Bonus question, number 11. Not number 1A or 2A because net metering is number 1, cost of the system financing. Number 11. What do you do after it gets installed? Got your solar panels in? Do you do anything? It's going to snow. It's going to get cold. Do I do anything? Well, honestly, maybe if you get a lot of snow where you are, maybe you might want to have a little squeegee thing to take the snow off your roof. Where I live, it does snow a lot, but it doesn't snow a lot in a day, and it's very fluffy, and I don't think I'm going to have a problem with that. So, what kind of maintenance do I have to do? Well, there's no maintenance. Keep them clean. Keep the snow off. Make sure no rodents get underneath there. Birds, pigeons mostly, squirrels, that kind of thing. Make sure they don't get underneath your panels. They could cause damage to the wires or the inverters or something like that. But they're really simple. Panel, wire, inverter, into a tube, to the thing, to the meter, out to the grid. There's not a lot of equipment here. So that's number 11. What do you do after they're installed? Do you just forget about it? Well, you don't really forget about it, but there's not a lot of work. So thank you very much. I hope you like my top 10 questions of answers you need to know. If you get a question, just put it in the comments. Eventually, I will get back to you. Solar is absolutely viable. It's absolutely wonderful. You're going to enjoy having it on your house. You're going to love checking the app that you produce 60 kilowatt hours today, like I did in July. Not July, it rained all the time. August. Almost every day in August, I produced 60 kilowatt hours a day. It was amazing. You don't use 60 kilowatt hours a day. You will use 25, but you're not going to use that many. So anyways, thank you very much. Have a great day. Thumbs up, thumbs down, maybe a comment. Get out there, have some fun. I hope I helped you out, and we'll see you in the future.